Alright guys, it's time to discuss NHL 1s. Today's video I'm going to go over my tips and builds and whatnot and what I would suggest using for the NHL 19 1s game mode. I'm No Sleeves 12. Alright, so just my quick little review on NHL 1s. I think this is a fantastic addition to the game. This isn't like when they did 3s last season. 3s is a really big gimmick mode, and so is 1s. But the main difference is that you actually have progression and things that you can actually earn and work towards. The fact that you can actually have like over 900 customizable options, not to mention that lit NHL 94 stick. There's always something to grind for. As a content creator and someone who streams, NHL can get kind of bland sometimes when you play it a couple hours a day. So being able to go into 1s and actually have something to grind for, something to play for, is definitely beneficial. It's much better than NHL 3s in my opinion. 3s is super arcadey, so is this, but it has elements of the actual game that I do like. So let's get into what I think is the best build so far in NHL 1s. So guys, there are many different variations of builds that you can use and have success with in 1s because it really comes down to how you play the game. But what I found to be most successful for myself is power forward at 6'7", 220 pounds. The reason for this is you can absolutely demolish guys, and even though the speed is around 80, you can still break away after you destroy guys. So because the rink is so small in 1s, the speed isn't a huge factor. When I was playing with smaller builds, you get crushed with even the smallest bump in 1s, with the body checking being 84. And balance and strength being so high with this build, it's very easy to just knock some guys off the puck and actually have a hard time getting the puck knocked off your stick. Meanwhile, when you come in, I'm going to show you guys a couple clips here, but the far side slapper is just an unreal goal in 1s. It's kind of boring, but if you're looking to succeed and do a lot of damage in it, it is one of the better things. So with booming shot, over 90 slap shot power and whatnot, it's an extremely effective build so far in my playthrough through 1s. So while using the build is important and whatnot, but actually learning how to actually play and succeed in 1s is a little bit tricky. It's a lot different than actual Versus or HUT or ESHL. So once you've got your build and whatnot, things you want to look for in 1s, be patient. You always want to be the third guy into the boards. Again, if these tips and whatnot are not for people that just want to like actually play in game, have fun with it. If you want to win, this is what I'm trying to get across to you guys. So winning and playing the game and actually having fun at it are two different things, unfortunately. But there are ways to do both. So again, you don't want to ever be the second or first person into the boards. Even with a big build, some guys get a lot of speed, you'll get crushed, and then you're just lying on the ground for a long time. Again, with this build, you can hit as long as you're not the third guy in, as long as the other guy's out of the play. Outside of that, you want to be super passive when defending the rush. The far slide wrist shot and slap shot is so effective in this. So you want to always be standing in the way of it. The goalie will cover the short side, but the far side you want to make sure that you have blocked up. The defensive skill stick, spam it. There's no penalties like there is in Versus in the beta. I don't know if that's going to change, but you can spam it, and if you've got the power forward build, the stick checking for it is actually pretty good. Live on L2. L2 has a nice little speed burst, so it is something you want to take advantage of. And when you get some open space, don't be afraid to just fire that far slide slapper, especially with this build, because it is so effective. Another really easy way to score in 1s is simply just holding forehand or backhand and skating in front of the net. The goalie is tuned way down in this to promote scoring, which is fine. It's just something you have to adjust for because basically any deke will work, but a super easy way is to just skate in front of him holding backhand or forehand, and it's going to go in most of the time. As far as the bugs and whatnot in it, it is the beta, so this is why the beta happens. If you skip the intro, unfortunately, it will leave the players' names in bold on the bottom half of the screen, which kind of sucks. Outside of that, there isn't a ton of glitches. There's some instances where you're the only one that gets into a game and it'll eventually crash on you. But again, it is the beta, so I'm not too concerned. That's why they do this. The last thing I think, as far as my opinion goes on ones, I think it is awesome that there is a one more game mode in NHL. The reason why Fortnite and other games like that are so effective and so addicting is because of the one more game mentality. It's so easy to get into a game. It doesn't take a lot of time at all, so the fact that ones take so little time to get into and there's no really downtime like there is with sixes or threes even, or even HUD or versus where you got to do your settings. This is simply just load your loadout, go in, and just keep going until you're done playing. And I think that NHL definitely needed a mode like that, and I love what they've done so far with this one specifically. And finally, just a little more in-depth look at the customization options. There are a ton. The home and away stuff is a little, obviously there's difference in colors and whatnot. You can have the pro or the casual stuff where in sixes you gotta wear the pro stuff just because it's extremely difficult to see. And if you play pro or competitive sixes, that remains unchanged, which I'm actually glad for. I'm glad that there isn't going to be some crazy jersey designs or someone wearing like the look what my kids did parka or whatever on an away game, because it'll just be an eyesore. But the customization options are awesome. There's parkas, hoodies, jerseys, and again, you can't buy any of this. That's what I love the most. EA hit it on the head with this one. This is all just random stuff, so the more you play, the better chances are you're gonna have a lot of cool customization options. My first couple days, I unlocked the Tims, the Timberland skates, which are awesome. I'm sad I'm gonna lose them after the beta because obviously you're not keeping what you get in the beta, but again, I think that this is a great little inclusion in the game, because if ones was just ones like threes was, it would get pretty boring. Even with the tiers and whatnot and the leaderboard, I think that that's kind of cool, but again, the overall popularity of the game would die down. You can unlock everything in threes and sixes and whatnot, but again, because it takes so much longer, if you're just looking to grind gear and stuff like that, ones is obviously the best way to do it because it is so fast-paced and just fun. Like, it's awesome to crush dudes and whatnot, and you can do some insane deking and whatnot. So I think that this is one of the better gimmicky game modes that EA has put into their games in recent memory. So guys, that does it for my ones review. If you like the strats and whatnot, and you have any tips and things that you think that we should know about, just leave it in the comments section down below. Don't forget to like my video, it really helps. And yeah, I'll be around all NHL 19. Hit me up on Twitter if you guys have any questions. I am an NHL game changer, so I might be able to answer some things that you want to know about the upcoming launch of the game. That's at No Sleeves Gaming. And yeah, guys, I stream every morning, 9 a.m. Eastern time roughly. Just come check me out. I'll play whoever. So you guys have a good one, and I hope you guys are enjoying the beta. Stay sweet.